Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It feels like it has been forever since I've sat down and spoken in front of the camera. Hope everyone is doing alright and everyone is still well during this really strange coronavirus period, but I don't want to speak about that today. What I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to do a book review. Seeing as we have been in lockdown for the past nearly 5 months now, I think, I've tried to do a bit more reading. Now this has kind of given me an opportunity, so I thought I would review one of the books that I've read, and it's a book that I really enjoyed. I've never done a book review before, so this could be absolutely terrible. So if anyone is like an English literature student or anything, or an expert in literature, I apologise. I have no idea what I'm doing, just thought I would talk about this book. So the book that I'm going to review for you today is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. That was a bit of a mouthful. I actually found this book at work. I'm hoping to God this is not a theft. But we moved room in our office and this book was just lying around. Nobody claimed it. No one ever said it was theirs, no one's ever come forward, so I said, well, I'll just take it home and read it, I can always take it back. So it kind of just like fell onto my lap. I've written a few notes on my phone so I could think about what I was going to say. The first thing that I wanted to say about this book was that I could not put it down. I was obsessed with it. I could not wait to be able to pick it back up again and just carry on reading. It really hooked me straight from the start. I was really interested in it and I could not put it down at all. It must have taken me like a few days to read it, I think. I don't know how quick I am at reading, but it didn't take me long at all. I was just so into it. I don't know if this is the right term to describe it, but aesthetically it's really easy to read. The way that the chapters are laid out and the different sections makes it quite easy to quickly get through, so you can quite quickly go through several chapters in like one sitting. I don't know if that makes a huge difference to anyone or not, but the way that it's laid out makes it quite a simple read. The book as a whole is both dark but humorous, and I quite enjoyed that, like the juxtaposition of the really dark aspects, but then there'll be an element of humour in there to lighten it a bit. There's one section in particular that stood out to me, and I won't hopefully give away any spoilers, but it's a dark, upsetting time in someone's life, but the humour is just there to really lighten the mood. So Eleanor has to attend a funeral and she's describing how the coffin is placed on the platform with a roller belt. As I tried to remember what the platform reminded me of, and it came to me, the supermarket checkout in Tesco, where you place your items and they move towards the cashier. Then as the funeral develops, she says the minister, like the assistant in Tesco, he made the coffin conveyor belt move and he checked out. Maybe I've just got a really bad sense of humour, but I thought that analysis and comparison, a funeral to a Tesco supermarket, like I thought that was a good way to lighten that scene, that chapter. What I did like from the very start of the book is that you don't have all the information about Eleanor straight away. There's little pieces of her personality, of her life, of her background are dropped and scattered throughout the book. On a similar note, you don't really know the full story until near the very end. You can kind of insinuate it and guess that from the information and the clues that are given throughout the book, but it's not really developed until near the very end, and I like that. You're kind of guessing throughout the whole book, thinking like, why is this happening? Why is that the way it is? And it's not until the very end that you kind of find out why. It's definitely a book that will keep you on your toes, keep your mind and your imagination wondering where things are going to go next. And maybe that's a reflection on Eleanor as a person, is that there's the instability where you don't know what might happen, you don't know which way she's going to go. Also from the very start of the book, I really felt like I could relate to it. The first chapter, the first page definitely, explains how she's just a woman in her 30s who goes to work Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. She takes the same route every single day. Between Friday to Monday, she doesn't necessarily speak to any other people. She's on her own and she really disconnects from the world, and it's not until she comes around to 8:30 on Monday morning that she has that interaction again, when maybe the office phone might ring, and that's it, she can have some human interaction again. That whole aspect of the book really highlights the struggle of loneliness, and in the front of the book there is a quote about loneliness. Although this might sound sad, but I could really relate to that, going home on a Friday evening and you might not necessarily see or speak to other people, for me, from outside of my family until the following Monday, and you definitely feel that disconnect. So that was something that I could really relate to in this book, was just the normality and, I don't know, being stuck in a routine. One thing that I really loved about this book was Eleanor's relationship with Raymond. I don't want to give away any spoilers again, but Raymond is someone that works in Eleanor's office in, I think, the IT department, and their relationship comes from, I think she had a problem with her computer, so she spoke to him and he came along and tried to fix it. And what I love about their relationship is throughout it you're thinking, is it platonic? Is there more there? Does he like her? Does she like him? Even until the very last sentence and paragraph, you're still thinking that. There's still ideas of, could they get together? Maybe not. Does she see it that way? Does he see it that way? And I like that. There's always like dancing around the idea of, could there be more to their relationship? And throughout the book you definitely want there to be. You really almost feel like, oh, I wish you could just both realise and be together. But even until the last page it's still not confirmed. What I do like about the relationship, and maybe this is a sad part of me, was that it stemmed from the smallest, most insignificant incident of a broken computer. So her computer broke, and then throughout the book their relationship develops, and the situations that she ends up in, the people that she meets, the things that come into her life, all stem from a broken computer. And I love the thought that you never know what's around the corner, you never know who could come into your life, you know, just like that, a broken computer and that's it, a whole new relationship, all these different people. And I really liked that with the book. The story of Eleanor's mother really intrigued me. That's part of the storyline, that there's different pieces of information are dropped throughout the book that kind of reveal themselves and reveal answers maybe. But the story of Eleanor's mother is almost psychologically disturbing. That might be a strong term to use, but it's definitely the things that she says or the things that are written really could mess with your head a bit, or you can see how they would mess with Eleanor's head. But the full answer to Eleanor's mother isn't revealed until near the end of the book again, and it was an aspect that I really wish was developed and explained a bit more, because that is part of the story that's left me with a lot of questions, a lot of why did that happen. That's an aspect that I wish could be expanded on, because I have so many questions, but I'm not going to say them on here because it would spoil the book. That was all the main notes that I had written down about the book. There's nothing more I can really say apart from I've really enjoyed it. It's an easy, quick read. I would thoroughly recommend it. I did read online that Reese Witherspoon has bought the film rights to the book. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if that's true, but if there was a film made about this book, then I would love that. If you've read the book yourself, please let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to know your opinion about it, and if you haven't read it then I thoroughly recommend it for you. If anyone has any other book recommendations, please also leave them down in the comments, not just for myself but for other people to have a look at, because I'd love to know what books people are suggesting to read, and considering we're in a lockdown, it's a good time to give it a go. If you want to stalk me and see what I get up to in my day-to-day life, you can feel free to follow me on my Instagram or my Twitter accounts. I'll leave them linked below and on the screen now, so you can click and give me a follow if you want to. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.